stroke, beautiful stroke. And he's done it.
Welcome to the highlights of the third day's play, where we only had 3 hours because of inclement weather and bad light. At the start of play, 166 for 9, the Australians, with Alan Border and Terry Alderman, the not-out batsman. Border on 57, Terry Alderman doing an excellent job as number 11 in the side, not out 7. 166 for 9, just one more wicket for England to take so they could get their openers out there again. Here's the second over of the morning. Bob Willis bowled the first. Ian Botham comes in now to bowl to Terry Alderman, and your commentator in the box with me is Mike Smith. Oh, what a lovely delivery. He's looking pretty good to me, Ian Botham, in the overs I've seen him bowl in this match. Watched him on television the other day. I've watched him here, and his action looks quite good.
Pitch is round about off stump, and many a leg spinner, Richie, I think, would be pleased to move it that much.
Certainly wouldn't turn it that far on the third day. 14 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 32. Fields in now. 4 on the offside, saving the single. There's 1 down to third man, 1 to fine leg, but very little available in front of the wicket. That is one of the options available in the last 2 balls once the field comes in, and that's good thinking from Alan Border. It's the way it's got to be done. You must take the risk. Good shot. That's pretty well timed by Terry Alderman. The outfield's reasonably slow still after the rain we've had here, and they'll take 3 runs. It'll take Alderman away from the strike. And not very many people would regard double figures as anything to write home about. I suspect Terry Alderman will be doing that. His letters back to Perth. He's made 10 now, 61 to Border, 174 for 9. Field scatters. Australia 11 runs behind. Well, it might indicate that Border is starting to have a lot of confidence in his tail-end partner. Picking up the single there from the third ball. Very frustrating having these tail-enders in. I've been in the same situation as Botham, and in a slower version of Willis on many occasions. The runs just seem to keep dribbling along, but you look up and suddenly they've put on 20 or 25. They play and miss at everything just outside the stumps, and they hit everything on the stumps right in the middle of the bat. Border's going to look for 2. But that was a good piece of cricket by David Gower. The quick pick up and turn, and it means that he's forced Alderman to take the strike again against Botham. Right, new ball available. The England captain can take it himself if he wishes. Then you'll have a bowler at the other end who obviously doesn't want it. Well fielded. Graham Gooch was the man.
Very quick thinking by Alan Border. He's off like a little ferret.
And it was almost an own goal. It's another shot of Ian Botham's side footing that one away from the stumps, trying to kick it onto the stumps. He recovered very well actually from going wide in his follow through. Just a little bit over the top of the ball. Seven runs behind Australia. Alderman taking strike. And 4 runs over the top. Geoffrey Boycott might get it. Yes, he will. It's good work from Boycott there, because he must have been looking down the ground to see where that ball had gone.
And a good delivery from Ian Botham. As you can see, it could have gone anywhere, but it's not his morning at the moment, and it clears the slips.
And he's caught that all right. It was a good piece of cricket. And good cricket too from Alan Border, the last man out in the Australian side, for 63. Australia's innings closing at 179. Border caught and bowled Botham for 63. He's played many bigger innings for Australia, and he'll play a lot more bigger ones than that, 63 runs. But he'll never play one that is more valuable. Alderman gave him great assistance, and the wicket taken by Ian Botham there, 2 for 34, with LILLEE picking up 3, Willis 3, and Hendrick 2, none of the others adding to their overnight tally. So the England second innings started. They had 6 runs on the board before they started off with Gooch and Boycott. Here's the first over. Dennis LILLEE bowls it from the Radcliffe Road end. No runs on the board. Graham Gooch is the batsman, and in the commentary box, Christopher Martin Jenkins.
He's off the mark there, and he should be able to come back for the second. Lawson picking it up. Oh, and over the top of third slip's head. Dicing with death there, Graham Gooch. Not really behind that, but going for the shot and getting away with it, and Alderman almost getting his hands to it at third slip. Alderman going wider of the crease to bowl the in-swinger, and Boycott just stroking it away for 4. Chappell after it. But 2 more to Gooch. Oh! A great catch by Graham Yallop.
Graham Gooch obviously going to play all his shots, and he really hits this one hard, but it's wide to Graham Yallop's left hand. Fortunately for him, I suppose, his stronger side, and he took a magnificent catch.
Oh, well bowled. And there's a man with his tail up. Moving it a long way, Terry Alderman. And he's gone. Couldn't get his bat out of the way of that one. Little outside edge. Marsh making no mistake, and Alderman has got Jeff Boycott out for the second time in the match, and England are in trouble, only 18 runs ahead at 12 for 2 in this second innings.
Again, this movement away from the bat. Good length ball. Draws Boycott forward. And up they go. No mistake whatsoever. A very thin one.
And the slips have gathered again on the other side of the pitch this time for the left-handed Gower. 4 slips, 2 gullies there. Again, Gower tending to get a lot of runs in that gully region, point region. And here's Alderman on his way. A leg by. And Bob Woolmer to face Alderman for the first time in this innings. Called back into the England side to try to give it some stability up at the top of the order. Very experienced player with 3 Test hundreds against Australia. He's got a better record against Australia than against any other team. He's going to need all that experience now. Oh yes, and great catch. A very fine low catch indeed by Rodney Marsh, and England now really in deep trouble at 13 for 3. A pair for Bob Woolmer on his return to the England side, and another very good delivery indeed by Alderman. And it wouldn't, I think, have carried to slip, so Marsh probably had to go for it. Rodney Marsh there, confirmation that he's now become the highest catcher of all time in Test cricket, surpassing Alan Knott's 244 catches. He's still got a few to go to overtake Knott's overall victims. Oh, bit of a collision there. Between Lillee and Gower as he went through for what seemed to be a fairly comfortable single, but Lillee having every right to go for the ball.
And Dennis immediately apologising for that.
Shot. A lovely cover drive there from Gadding. .31 for 3, and a lead of 6 for England on the first innings. It's LBW getting to Terry Alderman for 15. The ball coming back very, very sharply there. And that is disaster now for England. So it's 39 for 4 now, and England deep in trouble. There was a flurry of bat and pad there. Good bowling from Terry Alderman. 3 for 13, 7 overs and 1 maiden. Really top-class performance. Chappell can't get that. That's a lovely stroke. Well, what a great little session that was for the Australians. 44 for 4 England, with the 6 runs first innings lead they had. Gives them a lead in all of 50 runs. But Gooch for 6, Boycott 4, Woolmer a pair, and Gatting for 15. Gower not out 12, and Willie no score. A marvellous session for Lillee and Terry Alderman. So, after lunch, in the first over, no addition to the score. Here's Terry Alderman now coming in from the pavilion end. Taking strike is Peter Willey, and in the commentary box, Tom Graveney and Christopher Martin Jenkins.
Well, that's Willey off the mark. A little bit edgy, to put it mildly, but it's going to be 4 runs. No, it's not. Border catching up with it, just inside the 3rd man boundary. Well, he took a bit of a chance, but it's through safely for 4. Hit it very hard indeed. To bring the England 50 up in the 20th over of this second innings, taking Gower on to 16 and England to 53 for 4. And Lillee to build him again. Oh, that's a good shot. Chappell took the pace off at cover. But he can't quite stop it. A very characteristic Peter Willey stroke that. Oh. No mid-off, and Willey answering sabre with sabre. Lillee banging it in short outside the off stump, hoping to try and get a catch perhaps in the gully region, and Willey smashing it back through mid-off. Lillee not so far off it. Four more to Peter Willey, but he's dicing with death. No, it was not 4 more, I beg your pardon. It hadn't escaped through there. A very difficult chance indeed, going right between 3rd and 4th slip. And dicing just getting his hands across to it in front of Alderman there at 3rd slip. Stopping the ball, but a second escape for Willey.
By Australian standards, their slips are exceedingly close together, as Richie Beno has remarked. Generally speaking, you find they stand further apart than our slips.
He's out. A delighted Dennis Lillee. Willey shuffling across in front of his stumps. 2 chances went, but Lillee has got his man now. 61 for 5, England. So, England have a lead of 67 runs with only half their side left, and the ultimate test for Ian Botham, made captain for only this first test of the series for certain, and really knowing now that quite apart from his own future, this match probably hangs on an innings by him now. A really substantial innings is required if England are to bail themselves out. The game has swung right away from him from that point of 33 for 4 yesterday. Catches going down, and now 5 England wickets going down. And a couple of LBWs plus the 3 short catches, and Willie disappointing because it seemed that he was going to chance his arm there. Had a couple of escapes and pinned for 13. So here's LILLEE to Botham, and a good positive start by the England captain. Alderman to continue from the pavilion end to Ian Botham. At least 2 in there, and it was a no ball. .72 for 5, Botham 7 not out. Made a positive start to his innings after the fall of Peter Willie's wicket for 13. Alderman to Botham again. Oh dear. Positive batting is one thing, overconfident batting perhaps another. That's a lovely shot. LILLEE might cut it off, and he does. And Gower, in fact, having to come back quite smartly for the 3rd. Very good bit of fielding by LILLEE. I think Gower assumed it was going for 4, but he chose the longest part of the boundary and has to be content with 3. No, they've run 4. Good running indeed by Gower and Botham, so all that is hard work to no avail. And that's well taken too. LILLEE taking his time about crossing from fine leg at one side to fine leg at the other. And another gap. There are plenty of gaps in this close field, and these two starting to make the most of them now. .25 to Gower and 10 to Botham.
Safe away over cover. There's a good shot. That's a lovely stroke. Great square drive, that. Oh, well caught. Well caught. A fine piece of work, that. Martin Kent, who's on the field as a substitute for John Dyson. A firm stroke through the gully area, and Kent diving away to his right snapped up the catch. 94 for 6 after a splendid partnership between David Gower and Ian Botham. Just one more ball bowled before bad lights stopped play, and players never really got back on the field. There were thoughts on 2 or 3 occasions after the rain came that they might make a start, but in the end the umpires had to call it off just a few minutes before 6 o'clock. So Gower out for 28, caught Martin Kent, the substitute fieldsman at the finer of 2 gullies off Dennis Lillie's bowling, and Ian Botham not out 21. Paul Downton hasn't yet faced a ball. So you can take whichever side you like in this match, providing the weather stays fine, and you can have even money each of them, because it is a remarkably well-poised game. It's a little bit of a cliche in cricket, that, but that's the way this match is.